welcome back to Make Japa Great Again. It's a phrase that I think of frequently because there are many things vying for our attention. Everyone who's an overachiever has multiple projects going on at the same time. And every institution, every person needs a base. A house has to have a strong foundation. Corporations start off with the reason that they exist, a mission, vision statement, and say this is why we're doing this. Otherwise, it becomes confusing and complicated. But when we have a clear idea why we're doing something, we have a foundation, then everything else can take its proper place when we have the foundation laid. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's proposition was very simple, and that's been passed down through our disciplic succession. And that is to make a mantra out of it, your bhajan is your base. Base your life and all the other things that you're doing in your life on your bhajan. Make sure that you have that in place before you try to build other things on top of it. Otherwise, eventually they'll fall apart. As Shukadeva Goswami tells us in the Bhagavatam, Deha Patra Kalatradishu Atmasainesu Satsapi Tesham Pramatunitanam Pashanapina Pashyati. He basically says, all other things that you think could be your base, like your body, if it's very strong and stout, then that'll be my base. Or even the family structure, which is extremely important for us in many different ways, socially, psychologically, economically, and so forth. He said, ultimately, that base won't hold either, even though it's important. And then he moves on to various other aspects of our lives. They're important, but they're not the most important. So he said the most important aspect in your life is your personal connection with Krishna. And that's achieved, says Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially by your chanting. So it leads us back to this idea that your bhajan is your base. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada essentialized everything by giving us 16 rounds and saying that's the main thing. And if you make that your base, then all the other things will make sense and they can fall into place properly. So my mantra for the day, your bhajan is your base. And so just think about it a little bit while you're chanting perhaps, or as you're leaning into your chanting, think about how important it is in your life. And think on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it? How much is it your base, or how much is it an incidental activity that you're performing, and so forth, and see if you can identify it on a scale of 1 to 10, if that's not too technical.